So we're traveling on a road trip as a family. We're pretty deep into it. And we started this trip out of Vegas. We're from Maryland. We flew out to Vegas. We rented the car through Costco. We got it from Avis. And we're getting the car for a month for about $1,900. So our first part, we always typically rent Yukons or Suburbans, Chevy Suburbans, typically Chevy Suburbans. We have gotten them out of Baltimore, we've gotten them out of Utah, Salt Lake City, we've gotten them out of Denver. They've always been four-wheel drive. So we assumed we were getting four-wheel drive. However, fortunately, talking to the lady at the counter, I was making small talk. She asked us where we were going. I let her know we were going from Vegas up to Deer Valley up in Utah. And she goes, oh, well, you need four-wheel drive. We assumed we had four-wheel drive. We did not. That cost $48 extra per week, which we were fine with. I still felt we were getting a good rate for a month-long rental. My niece, who flew into the same airport the day before, got a Toyota Highlander, assumed it was four-wheel drive. It was not. And they had tremendous difficulties in Deer Valley. We had about 30 inches of snow while we were there, and they had to leave their car in a hotel parking lot, and we had to go get them because they could not make it up to the road where we were at. So lesson number one. Lesson two, or I don't know if this is a lesson, we've always done Suburbans. We own Suburbans. This time, the only full-size vehicle was the Ford Expedition Max. We started out opening up the car door, and it smelled tremendously like smoke, and there was no way we were staying there for a month in that vehicle. So we looked at a few others that were nearby, same make, and found ones that were acceptable and let them know, and they had no problem switching it. That was Avis, so we were grateful for that. Driving it, if you look at the dash here, I have it set on cruise control. We're in Wyoming now, and I have it set at 80 miles an hour, and I noticed every time I would pass a speed limit sign, instantly, and it would change the speed sign as to what it was as soon as you passed the sign. And I was like, this is amazing. How do they know where all these signs are at? Well, after I did a little research, I found out that it has a photo sensor, and it senses the sign and it makes the change. But here's the other caveat I had. It would zoom up to be about 8 miles an hour over the speed limit every time, but it would change automatically. So if I was doing 88 miles an hour, I'd pass a sign. I'd pass a sign that would say 70 mile an hour. It drops 10 mile an hour. It would automatically drop it, but it would drop it relative to, it's from 88 to 78. Well, I was okay on the highway going 8 mile an hour over the speed limit, but then when I came into small towns where it would go from 65 to 50 to 30 to 25, I didn't want that. But I found that I would drop it back, the cruise control, and then all of a sudden it would pass the sign and floor it to get 8 mile an hour over. And we ran through so many small towns with sheriffs running radar. I was getting nervous that I was going to get hit. So could not figure out why it was doing that. Well, then after I looked into it, I found out it has an adaptive cruise control that will adjust the speed, and you can set the tolerance. So right now I have the tolerance set to 2 miles an hour over the speed limit. So when I pass a speed limit sign, it will automatically adjust, and it will adjust to be 2 miles an hour over the speed limit consistently. So that's been pretty good. I did get pulled over in Steamboat Springs by a police officer. Looked like she was 16. I thought I was going to get a ticket, but I ended up getting a warning, and I did not use my cruise control. And I just had 1 second, like a very short distance, that the speed limit dropped to 25. I didn't know it. I was doing 42. I did see a sign. I looked down, saw the dash said 25 mile an hour. I did see a sign in the distance, 25, and I immediately slowed down. I didn't even know I was getting hit on radar. And then I went another half a mile, and next thing you know, I see a Chevy Tahoe on my bumper hard, and they put the lights on in the middle of town, right in the middle of Steamboat Springs for everyone to see. So if I was using the adaptive cruise control then, it would have saved me from a ticket or from getting pulled over. Again, I got a warning, and I'm grateful for that. So I just thought it was interesting. There's another feature I didn't know about. There's a lane assist that helps you to stay in your lane. Well, we're in Wyoming right now. We're getting these wind warnings with gusts well over 50 mile an hour, and I got on 80, I believe I am, north. About to take an exit now. My wife's telling me not to miss. I'm on 25 north, getting ready to exit, but as soon as I got heading north, the winds, I guess, are heading west to east. It immediately blew me off into the rumble strip. It startled us. I have not been using the lane assist, but I accidentally hit it because I was trying to adjust my speed on the speed setting for the cruise control, and I hit that by mistake. And ever since then, I've never left the lane. Even in this wind gust, it's keeping me in my lane. Now, you have to keep your hands on the steering wheel, or it will bark at you, and it will actually automatically turn it off if you don't. So I've been doing that, but it's been keeping me in my lane despite getting some severe gust. So these are some things I thought were pretty interesting. Now, if you look at this, I'm going to set the cruise control. It's saying 51. I'm about to pass a sign that says 70. So you'll see that. Once I pass this sign, it's going to see it. It clicks right to 70, and watch it accelerate automatically to 72 mile an hour. I'm not doing anything. I'm not touching the gas button or the accelerator. The only danger I had is we were driving through mountain passes, and I was relying a lot on the speed control, and there are times where I was going way too fast for the turn. I was trying to slow it down. This one's not bad. So you got to be careful relying on that. Now here's one other thing. This is wild. It is almost steering for me. So here's one other thing is I noticed in cruise control, right now I have it set at 72. If I come up upon someone who is doing 65 mile an hour, it will automatically adjust, and there's a button that you can press that you can determine anywhere from 1 to 4 car lengths is what I'm assuming, because they give you these little blocks when you press it. I'll press it right now. You can see 3 blocks, 2 blocks, 1 block. I'll go back to 4. So if I come up upon someone, it will not let me get any closer than that predetermined set. So even though my speed is set at 72, if I come up on someone doing 65, it will automatically slow me down and keep that set distance from them until I decide to pass them. As soon as you get in the lane next to them, if it's 2 lanes or you're going to pass them, it will automatically reaccelerate and get you back to your speed. So I was very impressed with the Ford Expedition. I'll give you one, and I am a hardcore GMC Chevy Tahoe. I have a Denali XL. I love it. My rentals are my last few rentals have been Chevy Suburbans. My last one was a Premier. I liked it. We really loved it. Expedition I was reluctant to do because it's a 6-cylinder. It's a turbocharged 6-cylinder, and I'm telling you, this thing is a rocket. I've never been starved for power. I've had very little turbo lag situations, and we've been driving in tremendous mountains. We've driven from Vegas through Utah to Deer Valley. We've driven from Deer Valley all the way to San Francisco, then to Lake Tahoe and around Lake Tahoe area. Then we went to Steamboat Springs, Colorado, and now we're going through Wyoming. So we've been through every harsh condition and road that you can imagine, and this thing is doing very well. And you can see my trip mileage, which I set when I left Deer Valley. If you can see, it's 3,300 miles, 66 hours on the road, and look at that, 19.6 miles to the gallon. And I've been most of it's been a lot of highway traffic, but there's also been local traffic driving around the various towns and places we've gone to. San Francisco especially was brutal driving because it was all stop and go. And I still have a 19.6 mile average. I noticed that when I got into Nevada, where it was primarily 80 mile an hour roadway, the fuel economy dropped a little bit. It seems like 70 is the sweet spot. So I don't think my vehicles at home would get this with the 8-cylinder motors. But I'm very impressed. So I just thought I would share these things with you in case you are going to rent or buy a Ford Expedition. I am definitely not a salesman, and I don't know if I would even buy one or not. But I would think twice before. I would definitely think about it and not just automatically buy a Chevy or GMC Suburban. Even though I would have a hard time not doing it, this impressed me enough that I would consider the Ford Expedition. This is the max, happens to be the limited. There's a few things about it it's a rental. It's got 48,000 miles on it now, but there's like stuff coming loose, the steering wheel, there's trim that's fallen off, but that's just from people, I think, abusing a beautiful truck and not taking care of it. So mentioned that the truck we were going to rent smelled like cigarette smoke. We had another one that smelled like marijuana when we were down renting a truck to go to Florida, and we ended up swapping that out. Actually, that was in Florida, I believe, when we flew down there. That was the last. We were going to get a Ford F-150, beautiful truck, brand new, smelled horrible, like marijuana. So you may like that smell, but riding around in it smelling like a skunk, we don't like that. So we swapped over to a Suburban Premier and loved it. It was an awesome truck. So this truck's going to probably smell like a family that's lived in it for a month. So I'm sure that that's not going to be too good either. So anyway, well, I hope you enjoyed this video and benefited from it. Have a good day.